Well, updates were pretty kind to us, weren't they? We had a few of our guys be pretty low overnight and update a little bit. So Hammer went up there. We had Jeremy Marshall-King went up as well as our good man Connolly Lemuelu. So it's pretty bang average overall. We had Latrell with 66. He went down, so good for non-owners. But there are a bunch of people that are picking him up now. Last week was one of the good weeks to grab him. And this week as well. So it shows what some of the guns of our game can do. They can have a few bad weeks, and those people that were looking to sell him after 3 or 4 weeks have been absolutely killed the last 2. So just shows, this is probably why a clear reason why Teddy is a great option this week is just that, that bounce back factor. He can come out and get 80. He can come and get 70 or 90 or even 55 or something would still be great, compared to where he's priced at. So that's the reason why to stick with these top guns, because they can, especially the wing fullback guys and the centers and the halves, they can have a few average weeks if the team's not going as good, or they're having a bit of a shocker themselves, just not getting involved as much, and then they go nuts like this. So Latrell, big one for him, 66, and he'll start to make money now, which is good. Down 100k. He was a little bit more than that before last week there, but up to a 53.6 average now, and pretty well where he's priced at to start the year. So good news for Latrell. His output there. Jai Arrow, what a banger of a game it was for him. 61 minutes straight off the bench. Came on for Hame Sele, who for people that owned him, came off a little bit earlier than what you would have hoped. But Arrow came on and dominated, and his price pretty high, right? 640. So you expect some decent scores, but 66 through the middle. This is back to old school Titans days for those that remember Arrow during those times. Not really an option, but good to shout out there. Cody Walker, he was an option a couple of weeks ago, guys. I noticed that he started to increase his output, going to the right, going to the left, tackling hard as well. And, that's a recipe for big scores for Cody Walker, especially when they're a team that can absolutely dominate squads. And he's still kicking a fair bit as well at 250 meters. So Walker, another 61. Did have a try saver in there, 3 try assists and a try. But, this is what he does. This is normal here. It's not all in base. Some games it was, a couple of weeks ago it was. But, this one's 61 there. Euan Aitken, a 58 for him. Loved his sideways running, 175 meters, no missed tackles out of his 15. Couple line breaks and a try. So one of the shining lights in the Dolphins side who, they started well and it really fell away. 14-6 all the way out to a 36-14 scoreline, and really was highlighted when Kenny Bromwich went off for his really poor tackle. We all understand what was happening there, but you just can't do it. You just know you're going to get binned, and a bit of contact to the head as well. He probably misses out for a week or two, which would be frustrating for owners. For Dolphins fans, really, not many people own Kenny. Probably helps Connolly Lemuelu, who did get benched, who we'll just speak about now while we're here. Connolly with the 34 for him. So did get updated 3. He was looking really, really good. He had those couple of run to the line, turn quickly and offload before the defense could really get onto him. And that worked great for 8 points there. But, he was tackling really well. I think it was about 23, 24 tackles at half time there. 21 or 22, and then only picked up a bunch more, but a few missed tackles in there, and a penalty there for a late tackle, all in a couple of minutes. He got up to about 35 live, and over that next sort of 8 to 10 minutes just proceeded to go down to 29 and then finished with 31 before he went off, and then updates from there. So we're very happy with his first half, unhappy with his second half, and for him to get benched 20 minutes left in the game, for owners of him that weren't really watching properly, he had a really good first half and seemed to be fairly high energy, especially in defense. And then second half, he just became very lazy in his defensive output. He would throw an arm out. He would sort of come out of the line a bit, and that's something he didn't do in that first half. And meters running for him isn't very high either in terms of him just looking for work. It's a lot of the wingers and centers that will come in, and he's just hanging out right out back. He's not even close to looking for a run. So that's frustrating. So I definitely think he's someone that we won't be able to use long term, scoring wise anyway. The mid 30s, not enough for a gun center when you've got this is a very low game for Hammer at 32, and he's not too much more expensive than Lem. So got to be interesting what we do with Lem, because if he keeps his spot longer term, we probably do keep him because he's not super expensive and he covers a couple of positions, but and plays the majority of those big buy rounds. But he's a very interesting one to think about long term there and what we do with him. Hopefully he can keep that spot when Felice Kafusi comes back. That's the big one there. Jeremy Marshall-King and Murray. Let's speak about them. So Jeremy Marshall-King first, he had that try in the first half, and he was about 40, I think it was 47 before updates this morning. So The try obviously really helped him. It was terrible Bunnies defense. Like, don't know what was going on that first half, and they really wrapped it around and improved things. But 5 missed tackles for him. He did end up with a turnover tackle, 3 tackle breaks, 40 tackles, and a try, and still 56. So really, it wasn't ideal. He wasn't scoring great before that try, and you are a little bit frustrated with that. But very happy that he picked up a 56 and above where he's priced at. Good stuff. Murray, this is what I mean. Just about a dead bang on average game. He had the 2 penalties, which was frustrating. A little high one. He'll be fine for that to play next week. But 6 tackle breaks is good. Ran the ball well. That 159 meters. Give us that one extra. Come on, FanHub. Sort us out. And 34 tackles. Obviously, when he's on the field in that second half, they're just scoring try after try after try. It's frustrating, but that's where he did pick up a few of his tackle breaks there as well. So 57 for Muzz. I still think he's going to be a clear sell come closer to round 13, but you're holding for now because we especially in bad weeks, are going to be some tougher weeks coming up. The last 3 haven't, but it will come. Murray's going to be one of those guys. Thank goodness for his 55 or 65 there in that game. Cookie, he's a little bit more of a worry. He's averaging less than what Murray is. Almost 3 less there, and 53 for him. Attacking stats weren't there too much. He had 4 tackle breaks and an offload, but nothing else in try assists or tries, which in a game like this, when they did defend the first half, but second half they weren't defending too much. He wasn't able to dominate there. The 3 missed tackles and an error hurt Cookie there. Again, he's going to be one of those guys who'll look to move on, I think, come Origin time, especially with him most likely being in Origin. Promi, big score from him. Ilias 48, so if you're still holding on to him, there are a chunk, but there are a bunch that I think got rid of him this week anyway. But 48, it is, guys. Line break, try assist, bit of everything in this game, just happened to be. Who is this man? Moale? He hasn't scored a point all year, has he? Averaging 24 and 45 points in this game. 54 minutes. I don't know where that came from. Obviously, he's fighting fit now, and that was really good. So if you are an owner of him, there are a bunch there at 7.7%. I haven't seen a lot in some sort of the top 10,000 teams, but Davy, a really good game for him. 45 in that output. For him to outdo Gilbert in 5 less minutes, shows the effort that he went through in that time. So well done, Davy. And probably not going to be a buy, guys. He might go back to that 20 minutes next week. But for him to get 54 along with Arrow to get 60 off the bench shows an interesting amount of bench usage, especially with Totola out. So that's that. Gilbert 43. People asked me if he was a buy after last week's try. Since that first 3 games, he has not performed really well in fantasy. He's averaging 49 now, and that includes a couple of big games at the start and a 66, I believe, last week. So Gilbert's a no. I understand if you own him, he's probably a hold, but it's for now though, because then the buy period, he's probably going to play Origin, and I doubt that you want him during that time because they have a good buy schedule for non-Origin guys, but Origin guys, they're absolutely pumped. Nichols, still a sell, guys. He's doing okay, 43 in this one, but get rid of him as soon as you can. Just use his money, really, is what I'm getting at there. Hosty was 40, so he had a really good first half and then sort of slowed up in the second there. I think it was mid-30s in the first half there. And did well. I'm so happy I brought in Isaiah Katoa 2 weeks ago. And for him to get 40 in this game, 4 missed tackles, and again, that was a similar time to when Lemuelu was missing his and they were going down that side a lot. I think he defended much better today, last night there. 26 tackles, 4 misses, kicked the ball well, ran a little bit. He did get a turnover tackle there and 3 tackle breaks. So good stuff for Katoa. And he finally starts to make some cash. So got 20-odd thousand last week, and then he'll get up 30 or 40 this week after this 40. So great news for Katoa and his owners. I think he's owned by most, so it was kind of more like, if I didn't get him and he scored well, I personally was really going to miss out. Stoney, so if you had Stoney from the start of the year, 39 in this one, getting 54 minutes, great news. If Kenny Bromwich is out, that does help Stoney because Kenny would have been most likely in the middle, and if not, then Lemuelu would have came on through that and played some decent minutes. But Stoney there, 39, happy with that output. A couple of big tackles to go with it as well. Campbell Graham, 36, so he was great in this game, but just didn't get the big score here. 4 missed tackles and an error in that 90 meters only. They didn't go right as much, but just a lovely double pump from Latrell to get Graham in, and then a kick, a high kick that he could pounce on as well. So he has to play Origin, doesn't he? And if you brought him in, you look at that first couple of plays, you get that try early, you get the second try, and you're like, I'm going to get an absolute banger from Graham, and still got 36. So you spend all that money on Graham, unfortunately, and you still only get 2 points more than what you get from Lemuelu, or 4 points more than what you get from Hammer. So frustrating for sure for owners. Asako there with his 36 was okay. There are a chunk of people that own him now because he's been doing so well, but up 200k. he still runs the ball really well. Just impressed with his running out of trouble, that's for sure. Tass there, 35. He scored a nice try, but other than that, just nothing much happening. 100 meters gained, 13 tackles. Does seem to be a step below all the top guns, and he's scoring similar to what he was last year. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like the first few games there looked like he'd probably taken a bit of a leap, and since then he's just he's doing his job. Like you look at this and there's no errors, there's nothing like that, but they are going right so much more, and that's a big issue for Tass and any owners of him. There are not too many though, which is ideal. All right, Len, we spoke about Hammer. Yeah, the 32 for him. If this is his floor game, he's a clear keeper in the centers. And against a team where they get pumped, for him to still get 32, and he almost scored as well, which would have got him close to that 50 mark. So, yeah, Hammer just getting plenty of run meters. Most of them were in the first half when they had plenty of ball. He got about 140, 150 in that first half. So, yeah, good signs for him. And it was just a very slow, nothing sort of second half there. So he will be much better in games where it is a little bit closer and the Dolphins can get some of their troops back eventually. Yeah, Felice Kafusi's going to help. Guys like Milford potentially will help more than Nikorima. Not exactly sure how that's going to play out, but yeah, I think Hammer is going to be really important over that bye period, especially if he's not playing Origin. We got Kenny there, 28 in his 60 minutes. Wasn't ideal. We got Hame Sele, went down to 27, so upsetting for him. Good news was the minutes, 36, but he did have a couple of missed tackles. He did have an error in there and managed to kick, so got an extra point from that. But yeah, same as last week, 130 meters run. So when he was on the park, they had plenty of ball and only 17 tackles. So we need to get those tackles up into that 24, 25 mark. And if he's still missing 2, that's fine, but just get those tackles up and he can get into the 30s. So if you did pick him up, considering he was starting, I said on the live there, I don't think it's going to change too much in terms of minutes, starting or on the bench. It gave him an extra 5, but that was about it. Nikorima, 25 for him. So, yeah, it does make his break even, but nothing too exciting for him. Did get that nice try assist in the start when Milne dropped that ball. That wasn't very nice. But yeah, a try assist for him and then just missed tackles and an error. And he did kick more, which was great. So he had the penalty conceded as well. So neg 14, almost pretty much as many as he did when he had the sin bin. So that's Nikorima in that one. Frustrating if you've bought him in because you're not going to get a heap of price rises. But yeah, unfortunately, someone's going to take this in those 240, 250 type of guys there. All right, so Herman SSA with 24. He looked like he wanted to offload. He got a couple away. But yeah, minutes are very low for him. Saluka Fafita, minutes low also. Jennings, if you looked at him, keep him away at the moment, especially when they're not going as well. And Jake Cartwright 11. So that is that video, guys. I hope you did well in that one. And just keep holding off in your trades until you have to. If you're bringing in a Teddy or something tonight, then make all your trades. But otherwise, don't push yourself to make those trades right now when lockouts, the rolling lockouts happening. Just make sure you only make trades with any players that are currently about to be playing in the game, because late outs, things happen like that and things change. So good luck with the rest of the weekend and I hope you have a good one.